who is chairman of the Louisiana Bicentennial Commission. Thank you so much. We are honored to have you here, and we look forward to your remarks. Please join us.
Well, good evening. Comment ça va?
Ça va bien.
Only in Louisiana. It's great to be here today. I was asked a couple times, well, why did you pick, we picked Kent House? It was no-brainer. Number one, they volunteered. And number two, it made sense from state with our geography to, as we would go out to address the troops. If you want them to hear you, we would get in the middle of them and try and voice and project our message. So it made sense. And then we had a lady named Alice Scarborough who absolutely threatened us that Rapide Parish would leave the state if we didn't do it here. So thanks to Miss Alice. Again, it's great to be here. Our message is, one, we are proud to be Louisiana.
Yeah. Yes.
While we are proud of our football, football is not Louisiana. We have a rich history, a culture. The importance of this great state to the United States is evident, and we want to make that clear to our children. There was a note today in the Baton Rouge paper. Our governor couldn't be here today, but his statement spoke to the importance of the bicentennial to enrich the education of our children, to know the history of this state, thereby, as we look to where we've come from, to have a clear picture of where we're going. And one of them we are continually emphasizing, and that is the part of education in Louisiana. May we continue to be blessed and walk in the right direction of progress. This bicentennial will give us that opportunity to show our children where they came from and the great opportunities that lie ahead right here in Louisiana. And to our children and relatives who were educated here and grew up in this rich culture and going off around the world to share their talents, we want to welcome them back home in 2012. May we continue to see our way to improvements, that we meet the dreams and aspirations of our forefathers who celebrated and sacrificed so we could be here today. You know, earlier in this ceremony, we paid allegiance to our flag and our national anthem. Just the ability to have a flag. Many Americans died for that sacrifice so we could pledge that allegiance. Many more since then, 1.3 million of them, have fought and died in the freedom and the fights we've been in around the world to promote freedom. Just on the backside of Veterans Day, how about a round of applause to those who have given it all so we can be here tonight. May we continue to hear the voice of all of our people throughout this great state and the needs that they have and how we, as fellow Louisianans, can help meet that need. As we move forward toward the holiday season and we watch television, we're inspired by stories that come close to the heart and what it means to be able to share the blessings we have with those in the community who are not as blessed. May we continue to hear their voice. And may we, as we focus on education, let us hear and let us act to help end poverty in Louisiana as we know it today. And let our minds be clear that if we do this right, this will be, as I told Mr. Randy Haney, our board member that's in charge of fundraising. If we do this right, this will be like a self-licking ice cream cone. Because every party we throw is an economic event, right, mayors? Some of you leave here tonight and then go off and eat. You may go someplace and have a social hour. This is significant to our state. And by George, we know how to throw a party in Louisiana, as demonstrated here tonight. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
We are blessed tonight to have with us some volunteers. And on that note of being a volunteer, I was invited to the board, and at the first meeting, Mr. Randy Haney looked over and told me, said, you know, Gerald, you're going to be the chairman of the board. I said, I said, the last time I volunteered for something it cost me 37 years. But with us tonight is Mr. Ryan Duplichan. Where are you, Ryan? Board member. Mr. Randy Haney, with his foundation, contributed the first $25,000 to our fund. Randy. Our vice chairman, Mr. Mike Wynn. Where are you, Mike? And Senator Wadsworth, are you here? Here we are, right here. Who's been a leadership, provide leadership in the legislature for this great event. And last but not least, Ms. Julie Visno. Where are you, Julie? Out of Lieutenant Governor's office. I go around the country speaking on leadership and preparedness. One of the things I noticed as I looked at this house is that the builders understood that they lived in a floodplain. And they figured that out before FEMA told them. How about a round of applause for using some common sense? We're blessed tonight to have members of the Postal Service and Mr. C.C. Lockwood, who present a real treasure to us tonight. Thanks to the Postal Service for doing what they do for us day in and day out. How about a round of applause for our Postal Service? We're under a lot of pressure right now. About a couple months ago, I was on the Mississippi River getting ready to do an interview for CNN. And we're right off the bluff there at Southern University. And a young lady sat down next to me, and as she sat there, a frog jumped on the table. And the frog said, I'm really a general. If you kiss me, I'll serve you the rest of your life. So she took the frog and put it in a book sack, and a moment later, that frog came out and made the same announcement. The frog came out the third time, and she said, look, a talking frog is worth a lot of darn money. A talking general ain't worth much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. God bless Louisiana. God bless